So can I ask you, why is this leading to so much pedophilia stuff? Why is it seeming that, the trans thing seems to be imaged as you've got to have them in your children's life. You have to say to a child, we have to show graphic things to young children, something wholly inappropriate for their age, and then tell them that you can switch, and be whatever you want. You should have sex. You should be exploring. Nobody could show you any evidence that any of that is any good. None of it. And then you add this pedophilia part. Why? Where is that coming from? What's happening there?
The most disturbing part of researching this book was I read the founding document of queer theory. So as we know, we talked about the principles of critical race theory, right? Telling white children they're racist or black children they're oppressed. That's the principles of the actual critical race theory ideology. Well, the transgender ideology, this stuff that we're teaching children in schools, that gender is on a spectrum, it's not correlated to biological sex, that they should transgress social sexual morals. These are not a random assortment of just poison. These are the principles of another theory called queer theory. So I thought, okay, well, let's dig into this. What is queer theory? Who wrote it? What's the goal? Like, what is this? I read the document. It's written by a woman by the name of Gail Rubin. She's still alive today. She's active in academia, I believe. She wrote an essay called Thinking Sex, in which she defines queer theory. She wrote the founding document, and she lists all of these different things, all these elements of the transgender ideology as being part of queer theory. And then she takes it a step further. She talks about why it's necessary to sexualize children. She defends child pornography, and she outright defends pedophiles, saying that our society, and she wrote this 30 years ago, so thank goodness her prediction didn't come true, but she said 20 years from now, we will regret having put in prison these men who love underage youth.
Oh my gosh.
It's the most disturbing thing I've ever read. I had to get up, I had to take a lap, because I was like, this is like reading something straight from the devil. It's a neo-Marxist theory. Marxism is an anti-human ideology. Mm-hmm. That's why it's going after objective truth. It's why its first direct object is the destruction of the family. I mean, the free market economy, again, isn't inherently moral in and of itself. It protects our right to have a family, to provide for that family, to worship the God that we want. The nuclear family isn't just a practical institution that was begot of capitalism, as Marx and Engels said. It is the earthly representation of Christ's love for his church. They're anti-Christian, they're anti-Christ. This is a satanic ideology.
And I think it is a religion. I mean, it is, there's doctrine, there's excommunication, there's sacraments, there's prayers you have to, it is a religion, and they are worshiping at an idol or an altar that they think might be something else, but it is pure evil. It is pure evil.
And it's not just their individual choice to choose evil, which would make me sad for their soul, but they're actively recruiting our children to be part of it.
You talk about Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood was the one that came up with Don't Say Gay, right?
Yeah. To the best of my research, and I researched this a lot, I was like, what's the origin of the Don't Say Gay thing? It was one of the modern marvels of fake news in our mainstream media to hear the Parental Rights and Education Bill in Florida falsely dubbed as the Don't Say Gay bill. It was incredibly effective. And it wasn't just a phrase that someone coined on the fly and it was catchy. It wasn't something that happened on Twitter and then people caught onto it. The origin of the Don't Say Gay phrase was a Planned Parenthood blog post, which since we started covering this, they've removed. But you can still access it via the Wayback Machine, the Internet Archive. They described a bill in Missouri during 2020. It was a similar parental rights bill that doesn't say anything about prohibiting people from saying the word gay. They described it as the Don't Say Gay bill. And the reason why is quite shocking, because you think, okay, well, why does Planned Parenthood care about this? Like,
Right.
of all the things, like, their business is abortion. Why are they focused on this? Planned Parenthood has become one of the largest distributors of transgender hormone therapy in the country.
Oh my gosh.
It's their new avenue of blood money. Abortion is one, the mutilation of children in a different way. Those they haven't killed by abortion, they want to chop up the bodies of these children. And they need people to believe that conservatives are trying to prohibit people from staying gay to protect their own business interests.
Does this go back to their original founding? They are about population control. So gay, mutilation of children, and abortion. What else can you do? I mean, you're feminizing men. You're just destroying the pool, really, of baby makers. Is that what this is?
It's all tied together. I talk a little bit about Margaret Sanger. I mean, most of us know a little bit about Margaret Sanger, the founder of Planned Parenthood. We know she was a eugenicist. We know she was a racist. I mean, she wanted to call birth control race control originally, which tells you all you need to know, really. But she also, well, she wasn't a self-avowed Marxist. I mean, she was also surrounded by socialists and communists and Marxists. She abandoned her family to have an affair with someone who took her to the Soviet Union during the socialist heyday. And she praised the Soviet Union for how they treated women, this communist country that was starving people. When you are associated with beliefs like that, you are tainted by those beliefs unless you are only associated with those beliefs because you are studying them to overturn them.
Right.
And this is Planned Parenthood is what I call one of the biggest institutional groomers in our country, grooming young women away from being feminine, grooming young men away from being masculine, demonizing babies, of course, with their abortion business. Now this transgender ideology, they are destroying the nuclear family more effectively, element by element, than any other institution that I can think of in this country.